Hey y'all. Let me look for my notes that I wrote. I haven't been live in a while. Hopefully, I won't stay on here too long. Hey y'all. I'm gonna try not to be up here too long. Um, hey Bree. Um, and I'm gonna talk about some things tonight that y'all know I don't like talking about. And that I don't. I'm gonna talk briefly. I'm gonna talk briefly about it. Um, but really, as usual, like most things on this channel, is going to be more focused on Black women and what we can do to use these situations um, as inspiration to just level up and just divest, because essentially that's what we need to do. So I'm gonna drink my little low carb Smirnoff. Um, so I'm gonna try to run through the things that I wanted to mention first, and then I'll start reading comments. Um, let's see. So we all we all know what's going on. We all know what the viral video of the lady being dragged by this like lifestyle coach, this like male lifestyle I guess that's what, I don't know. I don't watch any of the videos. I don't really watch any Black man videos, or mostly any male videos really ever. But we all know, we seen the video. Like, I don't have to replay it or anything. That's why I was like, I'll just go live so it can be a little bit longer. And the video about the video with the Black guy lifestyle coach, like the old guy that's like dragging this girl, saying she's like average at best. It's like dark skinned Black lady. And so I wanted to kind of talk about that. Oh girl, just watch it on, like, a bunch of YouTubers made videos about it. Yanni and the Pink Pill, a bunch of them made videos about it here recently, but it's been like a thing, I guess, the last few days or so. And so, of course, I want to loop it back around, to Black women, and like and kind of give my like take on it, my take on the Black community. And like, of course, if you've been here for a while, you already know how I feel about this. You already know how I feel about like divestment, and how, for me, to me, in my opinion, and other Black women's opinion, it's like the only solution. It's like the only solution. Yeah, I've only seen the clips from the video. Like, I haven't seen the actual video, the whole thing from the guy's channel, but I have seen the videos from like other YouTubers that I watch talking about it. And so I'm not even going to really talk about it. It's going to be about the video, but it's not going to be about the video. So some of the things that I mentioned some of the things in the thumbnail that I wanted to talk about, but I'm going to briefly mention Black men and Black women and the dynamic and the so-called gender war. But again, I'm a more so tailor it to Black women and how we can play our role, I guess, in this so-called gender war. To me, it's not, I mean, I guess technically it is, but it's not a war. When you have the womb, it's no such thing as war, because we can shut it down at any time. So to me, it's a war, I guess, but it's like, okay. So, and then I want to briefly talk about interracial dating. Not much. I might not even end up talking about that. And then divestment and what our solution is or whatever. So But I want to start off by talking about the girl in the video. So the lady, she's a lady, because she's like 35, I believe they said, and she like has one kid. So, you know, first of all, Black women are the reason the video went viral. Absolutely. Like y'all already know that those of you who do know, you already know how I feel about entertaining certain things. Like I've had as few followers as I do have, subscribers as I do have, I've had people like Black men make videos from a couple of my videos. Did y'all hear about it? Absolutely not. I don't care. Like, and when I say I don't care about something, I genuinely mean I don't care. So like this is like pulling teeth to get me to talk about this. But like I said before, like if it's something I really think is important for us to mention, for me to mention, then I'll talk about it if it's involving Black men. But a lot of this to me is not even the way I see things is a lot of this is it's a non-factor. Like the gender war and all that kind, it's a non-factor. When you have the womb, you control that. And I think Black women are in a way better position in society than we like to think of ourselves being in. Like we are in a way better position if you know how to be stealthy, if you know how to be cunning to some degree, not in a malicious way, but just in a way that you can put yourself in a better space. So like speaking on, I didn't even want to talk about this first, but speaking on like the gender war, like what gender war? I get it. It's beef. You know, gender wars are in every society, in every ethnicity, in every culture. Okay, I know everybody think everything they're going through is like the end all be all, but it's not. There will always be to some degree, a push and pull with from femininity and masculinity. There will always be some kind of gender war. The thing is that make the Black gender war unique is that Black men, the way they drag and the way they deal with Black women, first of all, like we're men, but also like the lack of respect, the like belligerence is like unheard of, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I've never seen another group of men. Even, you know, other cultures have their own thing with women, with men and women. But like the joy and the utter bliss that Black men experience when they drag a Black woman is like very unique to them. And honestly, it's pathetic. Like the connection that this community in quotation marks can't seem to make is hilarious and it's embarrassing. But anyway, I'll get into that later. But first of all, I do want to talk about the girl because first of all, I know, you know, people have been talking about, you know, if you're average looking, if you all listen, you are what you think you are, period. There is a spectrum of attractiveness on a scale even outside of race. But this is why it's important to have high self-esteem and confidence because you are what you think you are. You can get what you really, really, really want if you really want it. So the girl in the video, to me, is not on, okay, I'll break it down like this. In the Black community, she's not that attractive. By the standards that Black men specifically hold, she's not that attractive. Why? She's dark skinned. Honestly, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. The fact that she's Black alone means not. So when women go to men, especially Black men, toxic Black men who don't know their head from their tail in the first place, like that's already a problem. And so my thing is when Black women choose to do this, you have to already understand that you got to understand your worth. Like, to some degree, you got to understand your worth. And I know in the Black community, we working against a few things, namely, single parent households and things like that. But it's like certain things only you can do for yourself. And having confidence should start on the inside. Yes, outside reinforcements and outside compliments and outside pepping up and all that kind of stuff, it helps. It helps. But you got to already have something within you to where you value yourself. I remember years ago when I first started being on YouTube regularly. And I think the guy name was like Tommy something. And like, I used to watch his videos. It took me maybe 2 videos to realize that this man don't like Black women. And it doesn't matter what type of Black woman you are. It doesn't matter what you look like. If you're Black, you're going to be a problem. And that's what Black women have to realize in the Black community. And that is why divestment is important. Because that girl, the lady that was in that video that went viral, that lady could pull from the top tier white men in this country if she would let go of Black men and longing for Black male approval. She can pull from the top, and we all know the top tier of white men is like the middle tier of Black men won't even match a low tier of white men on a financial standpoint. And so my thing is, when women, that's why it's important that women go to the right spaces and listen to the right people. So I don't like talking about stuff. I don't like talking about Black men. I don't like talking about stuff that don't revolve around you, that don't revolve around Black women. I don't like talking about it because frankly, it doesn't matter. Nothing Black men. I mean, maybe if you have children, I have nephews. I have 3 nephews and I love my nephews to death. But what that got to do with other Black men? What they got to do with other Black people? I have a father, I have brothers that I love to death. What does that have to do with every other Black man? Absolutely nothing. So the fact that she even went to that channel was a problem. She don't even, and then, like, I wanted to cry when she said she was a 5 without makeup and a 6 with makeup. Now, there has been scientific study after scientific study about looks, about what makes someone attractive. And mostly it's about symmetry. If you take race out of the picture, that's difficult to do in a society that we live in, but it's possible. If you take race out of the picture, there's a scale of attractiveness for every race. So if you put up a woman like Tika Sumpter, who's dark skinned, against a woman like, I don't know, some random white lady like Julia Roberts or somewhere like that, on a scale that has nothing to do with whiteness and privilege and white supremacy and Blackness and all the stereotypes and the drippage from that, which one of those women faces are more well put together in terms of symmetry, in terms of there is, so I'm not going to say that, I don't call people ugly. I don't think of people as ugly or not or whatever, because the way I view attractiveness is a little bit different. And that changes the older you get. But there is a scale of attractiveness that everybody falls on, even outside of race. Now, race comes into play a lot, from family members, from stereotypes, from people not being experienced with you, or in the in the case of the Black community, it'll come from, you know, just your perceived value as a Black woman. And the bottom line is, that's why I don't understand why Black women, the Black women who choose, because a lot of us ain't going over there, but that's why I don't understand why Black women choose to even entertain these men at all. These nameless, faceless men, like, to me, I don't understand why they choose to like pay attention, to listen, to engage. I don't care how many people make videos off the videos I make. I'm not going to respond to you because I genuinely don't care. Thank you for taking the time to, you know, screen record my videos, or to download it, or to take time out of your life to dissect every word I said. Thank you. You're giving me energy that I would not have had, but also I don't care. So if you're waiting for a response, if you're waiting for me to bicker with you, I'm not going to do that. I am the queen of leaving a nigga on red. Pardon my French. You're gonna get left on red. I don't care. I don't care if you're a good Black man. Okay? I don't care. I barely will discuss these things with Black men in my life that I know, my friends from college and stuff. I barely will discuss it with them, but at least they provide me with some kind of other outside, you know, support or some reason where I'm willing to give that energy. You think I'm gonna give my energy to a man, some random man online? And that's all of them. I'm not even talking about the ones that are just bad. I'm talking about the good ones too. Because that's what it means to be divested. I'm talking about the good ones too. The good ones. You know, everybody think they good. And furthermore, with the girl, that's why I'm like, please just date interracially. Now, I'm not somebody who's gonna say, you know, totally eliminate Black men from the pool, because the way I see it is, if a Black man is willing to provide me with the lifestyle that I want, is willing to be there in the ways that I need, then why would I turn that down if they're what I'm looking for? Now, the problem is a lot of Black women are attached to Black men, so they can't date Black men and date without making them the priority. And so I want Black women to get to a space where you're so divested, like you don't care. So for me, Black men are on equal playing field as white men, because frankly, a lot of men are trash of all races. I've dated almost every race you can think of, except like East Asian, the white Asians. Like, and you can find good men in every race. You can find trash men in every race. So, you know, interracial dating non-Black men aren't the solution, as in they're, you know, I'm telling you, oh, he's gonna be the next white man you meet is gonna be the one. No. But it is the solution in the sense that you need every option possible. And the bottom line is, other races of men don't see Black women the way Black men do. So people even other Black women like to say that non-Black men fetishize us. How do Black men not fetishize us when all they do is want to sleep with you, create babies with you, and then dip? How? And so for the girl, the lady in the video, that lady with her body, she a size 3. She has a 6-figure business, pet grooming business. Do you know how attractive that is? First of all, she has a 13-year-old son. What does that tell me? See, somebody that's trying to break you down is going to say, oh, your value is worth less because you have a kid. She has a 13-year-old son. That tells me two things. One is it only took her one time to have a kid with somebody that didn't marry her, and she learned her lesson. And it happened 13 years ago, and she didn't have to learn that lesson twice. God forbid, 3 times like some people. That's what I got out of it. She has a teenage son who is practically grown in a few years. So he is not much trouble. I mean, but why would you? But if you go to Black people and in the Black community, they're going to tell you that, oh, you ain't worth nothing. Because I can promise you, if that same lady didn't have a son and she got up there, it don't matter who it is. They're going to find something wrong with you because you're Black. Which leads me into my next point. Stop having these niggas babies. There's no nice way to say it. Stop having these niggas babies. There is no gender war if there isn't another gender to war with. And if Black women as a collective, back in March, I got accused of, trying to promote genocide and a whole bunch of other stuff for saying this, but I absolutely do not care. That's the solution, is to stop having babies with these men, period. Like, there's no other solution. Now, that don't necessarily mean stop having sex. I'm not saying having sex with Black men, but if you just have to have sex, I know we're human. If you just have to have sex, don't get pregnant. There are ways of not getting pregnant if you really don't want to be pregnant. Period. There is no gender war if they ain't no niggas to fight with. If Black women shut their wombs down for real, most of us not going to do it. But if there is a collective of us doing it, that is, and it's a lot of Black women. I know, we have a reputation for having babies and a bunch of them and stuff like that. But millennials are having less children across the board. So Black women are having less children. Black women but Black women, we have to be consistent. This isn't a problem that developed quickly. It's not going to go away quickly. So the only solution is to not have these niggas babies. Like, stop having babies with them. Stop having babies for them, because y'all know they leave as soon as you say you pregnant. They be halfway out the door before you even get pregnant, which means you might have to leave some women behind too. But at the end of the day, we control the Black community. We control every soul who comes on this planet, period. So we can shut it down if we want to. I mean, I don't know what else Black women need to hear. Yoruba Goddess said 2020 was a total wrap on the Black community for me. Exactly. And this viral video is just in time at the end of 2020 for me to make a 2020 recap video, because I think y'all forget. I think a lot of Black women done forgot. We ain't forget, but a lot of Black women forgot how we was getting hit in the face with skateboards, how dudes was chasing us in parking lots, trying to get our numbers, trying to get into the car with us, how dudes was throwing us into deep freezers and throwing us into garbage cans, and how the trans community, we was homophobic and we had to date men that had sex with men. And Black women, we got plenty of messages this year. So I really don't understand, not every Black woman is going to get it. Not every Black woman is going to understand, but I'm not a glutton for punishment. You're not going to talk to me crazy. I don't want to argue with people. I don't have to go back and forth with you about my opinion. Like, I don't have to go back and forth with you about how I feel. How I feel is not up for negotiation unless I want it to be up for negotiation. That's why I don't converse with black men, especially not online. And it's a lot of black women running around here with low self-esteem. But what black women want to do is sit online and complain. That's what black women want to do. You want to complain about the situation. You want to talk about how black men, we know this. We've been knowing this, but 2020 has really like put it together in a file folder for us so that you can go back and remember, so that you can have something to reference. Because frankly, I don't even like the bottom line is don't have these niggas babies and pay these niggas dust. Like, I don't care. I don't care. There are plenty. I know somebody was in my comments on one of the other videos, and one of the more recent videos that I had, talking about that she thought I was lying. I'm gonna assume it was a black woman, and that I'm pumping black women's head full of hopes and dreams that nobody. Basically, she was saying that, you know, non-black men don't want black women, which is an absolute lie. I mean, all you got to do is get on freaking a dating app. Go get on Hinge. Again, I'm not going to argue with you and try to prove to you that I'm telling you the truth. Don't listen to me. You don't got to take my word for it. Get online. Take some pretty pictures. Get on Hinge and see what them non-black men be sliding in your DMs. Messaging you and matching with you. It's not that difficult. Like, I don't know how much more black women need to know. Like, it's not that hard. I've had white, and I'm a plus size girl. I'm a size 16, 18. I'm a plus size girl, and I have black men. I mean, I have like men coming up to me in person. Now, a lot of non-black men aren't going to come up to you in person because they already think the black women are off limits to some degree. And they think you don't like them the same way we think they don't like us. So you're going to get more attention from them online. This is common sense. And it's so irritating when I see black women trying to discourage other black women from dating interracially. We are so used to people being aggressive with us and coming up to us, smacking us on our butts or whatever when they trying to yo ma, like, will scream at you from across the street. Like, come on. So they're gonna be more comfortable. Even a lot of black men will be more comfortable talking to you online than in person, because you don't know if you're going to get rejected. You don't know if this person's going to be like, oh, I don't like, white guys. I don't like, Asian guys or whatever. They don't know. So you can't expect. So I really need for black women to think about these things. And furthermore, moving on, black women are in a better position. We're in a better position than we like to give ourselves credit for. I really think that black people, and especially black women, think the moral high ground is a place of ecstasy. It's not. If you are a loser on this earth, what are you doing? Not only, first, this is why black men don't like us, because first of all, they're angry. They're angry at black women for, birthing them in the first place in poverty, for birthing them in a household without fathers. They're angry and mad at all of us random black women who don't have nothing to do with their mamas or whatever. And read between the lines. Please read between the lines. Other races of men see us differently than black men. There is nothing black men want with black women as a collective. Now, we're not talking about each and every black man. Each and every black man. We're not talking about that. But as a collective, like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But see, the problem is, they like to say, oh, black women replaced us with government handouts and da 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 da. But you left. Nobody forced you to put on your sneakers and go out for a pack of smokes and not come back. Nobody forced you to do that. You chose it. And see, they're mad because they also know, and this is why we're in a better position than they are in. We have white men to protect us. I'm just gonna say it. I can call the police on any black man, they're gonna take my side because I'm a woman. So the psychological warfare and the games that black men like to play with black women, the abuse tactics, because the things that dude was saying to that woman and the things that other black men say to black women, when you start trying to chip away at black women's looks and when you start trying to talk, first of all, the goalposts always moving, but they know that we are in a better position than they are. Frankly, we don't need them to protect us in America. We have the white men to do it, because I can call the police right now and they're going to show up and they're going to be nice to me and they're going to be polite to me. And I don't have to worry about them. That's the bottom line. I understand that black women have, sons and all that kind of stuff. But what does that have to do with anything? It's on us to police our own wounds. It's on us to police who we produce with. I've been dated black men before, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to have children with you. And you could try to, and I was like, oh, well, you can try to get me pregnant if you want to. That baby thing is gonna be in a radioactive bag in the trash dump. So you can play yourself if you want to, because it ain't gonna happen. And so as soon as black women start talking about shutting down that womb, they get in their feelings because they know what it is. We can shut it down at any time we want. But women are patient and long suffering. And I think 2020 has taught us that we need to go ahead and stop being patient and long suffering and just divest. You don't have to call yourself divested if that's a trigger word for you. You don't have to call yourself anything. Just pay these niggas dust and leave it there. I don't mind calling myself divested. And yes, I am self-proclaimed divested, but I also will date a black dude. If he buying me stuff, if he getting, and I'm not there just to buy me stuff. I got my own career. I got my own money. But the bottom line is you have to be an asset to me, or I would rather be single. I promise you, I'm one of those women. I will die a happy single woman. I can promise you. My life is fulfilled in so many other ways that a relationship, but I've always been like this. I've never been boy crazy ever. I didn't let niggas rape me in middle school. You think I'm gonna do it at 30? I wish I would call and let somebody try to rape my looks. The little boys tried to do that on the playground in middle school, and I didn't let them. I said, I'm not playing these games with y'all. Like, but I know some women are boy crazy. Some women, I don't mind not being in the company of men. Frankly, they're annoying. And I'm talking about all races of them. So you have to be an actual asset to me. Like, I have to want you there. Otherwise, I'm good. I'm good with my life. And that's for real. So, Black women, I feel like we really need, and I'm gonna do a more formal video on this now that I mention it, but we are in a way better position than we like to give ourselves credit for real. We can have our man protect. We still have white men protecting us. They get paid to protect us, and that will. Come on. Use what you have to your advantage. Like, so it blows my mind when white Black women are like, well, should I call the police? Should I do this? Should I do that? Do you want to die? An early death? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand the concept of putting somebody else's needs, another man, a man's needs above your own, especially when he's physically harming you. Y'all remember the girl and the lady that was in Baltimore running, and the crazy man was coming up behind her, calling her all kinds of bees and all this other kind of stuff? She had to run in the hotel and then wonder why white people don't want to get in, don't want to help defend us, because they are afraid they're going to end up on the news being called racist or something, because the Black woman will turn around and then try to defend. Yeah, y'all remember that. So let me see what else I wrote down. So I talked about it a little bit. But as far as like the women calling in, I mean, Black men move the goalpost all the time. Stop trying to win a race that you can never win. I mean, frankly, the prize, what prize are you winning? They don't even do right by the women that they hail over us so greatly. They don't even do right by them. Non-Black women's outer wedlock rate is going up because of them. So I don't get it. It don't matter what that girl would have said to him or any Black man who thinks like him. It don't matter what she would have looked like. If she looked like Tika Sumpter, she'd still be dark skinned, still probably a size 3. Like, how? They're gonna tell the fat girl she's supposed to be, she need to be skinny. They're gonna tell the ugly girl she need to be pretty. They're gonna tell the pretty girl she got a bad attitude or she broke. It's always gonna be something. It's always going to be something. So go somewhere else. But as soon as we start talking about interracial dating, as soon as we and see, that's why they're coming at us with so much vitriol, because Black women been talking. Black women been making different moves in 2020. More of us need to do it, but enough of us have been making moves in 2020 to where it's being noticed. And instead of them treating Black women right, what they're doing is trying to use psychological warfare. But that's not going to work anymore, because there's too many women on this platform and other places telling Black women what the deal is, so we can stop trying to play a rigged game. You're never going to win. Now, of course, that's not every single man. That's not every single Black man. Just like not every single non-Black man is going to treat you right. White women didn't fight for feminism for no reason, for their rights to be able to vote, for their rights to have credit cards and mortgage loans in their name. They didn't fight for it for no reason. So gender wars are exclusive to us. But for some reason, Black men find joy in demeaning Black women. And honestly, it doesn't even have anything to do with us. Because instead of fighting the people that they would need to fight, which is the white man, they would rather pick at the people that's smaller than them. But that's fine. Because we got the white man to protect us anyway, aka the police anyway, if you really want to know the real tea. And they know it. And this is why the solution is to stop birthing them, period. Now, if you got a good Black man, if you're married, I'm not talking about you, but the collective of them are not. Stop birthing them. The collective of them, even on just the level of them not wanting to be married, not wanting to commit in that form, stop having children with them, period. Because they're angry at Black women. And a lot of this is our fault, if you really want to know the truth. Nobody, unless somebody forcefully take your cookies, nobody can make you have a baby, especially not in 2020. And for the last, 30, 40 years, nobody can force you to have. So we've volunteered to raise children on our own, and these children are angry. These men are angry with us. And that's the bottom line. They're mad. And to some degree, they have a right to. So all this, Black men love their mamas and all that other kind of stuff. They love their mamas, but why are they so angry at the reflection of their mothers who didn't do anything to them? So just stop having babies with them. Close your legs, because it's the brokest ones with the best dick. Close your legs. Don't have no babies with them. If you just got to go get you some, just make sure you don't get pregnant. Because they like to stick and move, and they intentionally get women pregnant so they can have that attachment to you. And then they run around. I watch my friends and other people I know around me raise several children by themselves while the dudes just run away scot-free doing whatever it is that they want to do. They struggling, want to pull their hair out, want to break, want a vacation, want to breathe, but they can't because they got all these kids on their hips, while the men are absolutely no help. And then the kids grow up with an absentee parent. You do your best, some, to raise your children, and then they resent you, the one who stayed. They don't even blame the man who left like he wasn't a whole grown adult. They blame you. So stop having them. Boom. And it'll take sacrifice. I know don't nobody want to sacrifice. Me, I want children. Well, I want one. But if I don't have them the right way, I don't want them. That's a sacrifice. Than to be selfish just because I want a child and give them. And I know a lot of Black people don't have parents. I have both of my parents. So I know the importance of the balance of femininity and masculinity in the house. I know the importance of it, and a lot of y'all do too. And even those who didn't have it, who missed it, probably know. Okay, let me put my glasses on and read some of these comments and stop talking. I can see clearly now. Y'all been talking a lot. Let me scroll up. Somebody asked, is this a pro Kevin show or something like that? I'm pro myself. I'm pro Black women. Smart Black women. When recently saw sis with them high cheekbones and that smooth skin calling herself a 5. Yeah, like that almost made me cry. I'm a crybaby anyway, but that almost made me cry. Like, oh, I'm a crybaby only for certain things. Other than that, I'm stone cold. But I'm like, a 5 where? Like, that lady could pull the top tier men, especially white. And I say white because white men look at Black women differently from what I've seen. They look at Black men differently, especially if you're thin. But even if you, and I don't know, I don't like to go into definitions of high value men and all that. I'm a selfish person personally, like as far as when it comes to my life and my lifestyle. So high value to me is not, I don't think money makes you high value. Money, I think being broke doesn't help you to be high value. But if you got a whole lot of money and you're miserable, or you're miserable with somebody with a whole lot of money, that's not how high value. I mean, I understand that we don't want to be in poverty and that we're trying to level up and better ourselves, but you got to actually be happy with your choices. So if you're going to get a man, I'm here for getting a dude that's not as attractive. I'm here for getting a dude, because personally I care less about looks. For a man, I like being the prettiest one in my pictures. Okay. I don't want somebody that look better than me. Like, or that's super feminine and just like, I don't care about that. Like, because most of the time, and I say that because most of the time those people come with a lot of mess that I don't have time to deal with. Like super classically attractive men, they come with a lot of stuff that I don't have time to deal with. And so most of the time, I'm not even attracted to them like that. It's not, I still want to be attracted to the person that I'm with. But when it comes to looks and stuff like that, that's not at the top of what I'm looking for. So, but anyway, I scroll way back far up. I've been talking a lot. Chandrina said, I'm 19 and the amount of non-Black men that text me all the time. Exactly. Now you have to some degree play the game with non-Black men too. But if I'm gonna be honest, especially if you are thin and dark skinned, you need to be dating white men. You definitely need to be dating white men and other non-Black men, but especially white, because a lot of white people have their own insecurities. As much as we live in a white society, white people don't like being pale. A lot of them like mixed children too, and they trying to hitch a ride on this melanin train. So if you're really dark skinned, you're not going to get what you need from a black man most of the time. It would be a needle in the haystack to get a black man that's going to treat you, that's not poor and that's not downtrodden and a dusty, that's going to treat you the way you deserve. Date other, especially if you're thin, and please, it'll be nothing. That's why I said that girl in that video could pull from top tier white men, millionaires, if she really wanted to. And them talking about her age, listen, I'm 33. I can lie about my age. Listen, this is the bottom line. I'm gonna tell you, I could lie. I could tell people that I'm 25 and most people will believe me, especially in person. I could be nice and say I'm 27 and people will believe me. So don't try that age shaming thing. And a lot of black women can do that. Most of us look younger than what we are, period. So that age shaming thing, please try it somewhere else. Try it with some women who lack the melanin. Because all I got to do is tell people, if it really matter about me, if being 20 in your 20s really, really mattered, all you got to do is tell people that you're 27. How many men have checked your ID unless you were actually 16 and being hot in the tail? How many men actually checked your ID? So I could really lie. Now, I'm the type of person who won't feel bad about it. But I also don't care enough to lie, because if I have to lie to you about being a 4-year difference from me being in my 20s to me being in my 30s, then you're not gonna be an asset to me, because your priorities not straight. But if it was just that alone, the age, if she said she 35, that lady, she could have been 24 and he wouldn't have even had known. That's why you don't give people more information than they need. Because when people like that try to dissect you, they're doing it to try to chip away at your confidence. And most black women look a lot younger than we are. Every now and then I still get carded in certain stores. And I mean carded, like people, they be having an attitude with me. Like they think I'm trying to get over on them. Now, I don't think I look 16 or 17 or 20. But to some people, I do look really young. And a lot of people are genuinely shocked when I tell them that I'm over 30. So please, you don't think that's attractive to non-black men? Especially when they're women age like bananas? Please, not to be mean. I don't like to come for any women and stuff, but some of them age like bananas. So all of that, but that's what psychological warfare is. Okay, let me read some of y'all comments. And he said, I live in Virginia and I know plenty of thin, dark-skinned women who are married to high-value white men and they're living a good life. They're extremely happy. White men love thin, dark-skinned women. I love some non-urban Latino men. That's who I want to date next. Right now, I'm dating a black guy and an Indian guy. But I don't know. I haven't dated a Hispanic guy in a while, so let's see. Yeah, white men care about size first over everything. Yep. And their idea of attractiveness and non-attractiveness is different. So they care about being thin. But then you have the countryer, the more redneck, the more you have as the white boys that's like down south and stuff. Them boy, they like girls with some meat on their bones. They like some big booty girls. Now, if you want a more corporate, kind of guy like that, then yeah, a lot of those men do like thinner women. But some of them down south, them country white boys, not all of them are racist either. They love them some thick, big booty black girls. And a lot of them have money because a lot of them have businesses, and it depends on what you see. Even if it's like a blue collar business, a lot of them own businesses. So it's always you do I do understand that you do have to know your audience, and you do have to know who you can get the most out of if that's what you're looking for. But and like for me, my aesthetic is I don't have an issue attracting black men. Like black men like to say they like thin women. And I do believe a lot of them do, especially more lately. But culturally, black men don't have an issue with thicker women, especially if you at a certain size. Now, if you over a certain size, maybe not, I don't know. But I don't have an issue with attracting. Now, I will acknowledge that I do have some less Afrocentric traits, like my eye color, that attracts black men. But guess what? It attracts the wrong kind of black men. So we all do have to be kind of conscious about where we are and where we stand. But so for me, that's why losing weight is one of my biggest goals right now. And in a way that I don't gain it back. But we do have to know where we stand, and we can't be delusional or unrealistic. And for me personally, like I don't care about I care about the way I'm treated. I care about the way a man treat me. So if you give me a very attractive man with a six pack, or a less attractive man that's short or whatever, then I'm going to pick the one that's going to treat me better. That's going to do more stuff for me. Danielle, would you consider surgery? No, I'm too scared to do surgery. Like, I thought about doing like the VSG thing, but I can't. The only I'm not against it by any means. The only reason why I want to lose it naturally is, one, so I can work on my discipline, just as a character level, as a skill. I want to be a more disciplined person. And so that's the reason why I'm not. And also I think it's something very off about cutting parts of your body unnecessarily, like cutting a part of your stomach off and sewing it back together. Like, I don't, and rerouting your organs. Listen, I went to a meeting about it like at some point last year, but I can't. So I'm just gonna do whatever it takes to, not whatever it takes, but I'm just gonna do what I have to do to work on my self-discipline and just lose the weight naturally. So I lost weight before, I can do it again. But I'm not against surgery. Hey boo, hey Kim. I'm not against love you too. I miss you. I'm not against surgery. I just don't I'm not gonna do it. It's not something that I'm comfortable with. And I really, really considered it. Like I really considered it. But especially around that time, like a couple years ago, because that's how I started following Yanni because she had got it. And I was following like her journey and she would answer questions and stuff that I asked. But I also have an issue, like I have a fear, like I don't like puking. Like that's something like I don't like doing. So I'm really scared for multiple reasons. And I just think it's something really unnatural about clipping parts of your stomach off, rerouting organs, and just fumbling around with stuff. I don't think you should be doing that. So that's the only reason why I wouldn't do it. Um, it doesn't sound like you're against it. No, I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I'm not against anyone. A lot of the things, I'm not against anyone changing anything about themselves. I just say, what I want Black women to do is to get confidence first. Work on your mind before you do, because as somebody, I did lose a lot of weight and stuff like that. And losing weight and losing lots of weight can be very trippy. It's a legit journey. It can be very trippy. It can play with your mind, especially the way people view you, the way people like. So that's why I say you can get weight loss surgery, but it's not, if you're not disciplined, you're going to go through all of that, spend all that money, cut up your insides, your organs, and you're going to gain all the weight back. So that's why is that the only way to do a weight loss surgery? No. So I think when I went, it was like 3 different methods of getting it. So it was one of them, I think the lap band, they don't even do anymore. And I went to, everybody heard of Duke, but I went to, no, was it Duke or UNC? I don't know. I went to one of those, how the different hospitals have offices or whatever. I think it was either Duke or UNC, but so it had different versions. It was gastric bypass, gastric sleeve, and then the lap band. But I think they stopped doing the lap band. Like they kind of like took it off the market for here, at least in Raleigh. Yeah, I do keto, but I haven't been doing it lately in the holidays, so I got to get back on it. But yeah, it restricts the size of your. So it's different ways of doing it. One of the lap band doesn't. Oh, and they had like this balloon thing where but that was a really new procedure at the time, so they didn't have as much research on it. But so I think those were the 4 options, but I don't think lap band was available here in Raleigh. But the sleeve cuts your stomach. Gastric bypass, it is a surgery, so they do cut something, because that's the one when they kind of reroute or tie up your like a part of your colon or something. So it makes you full quicker. But it's like I'm scared to do all of it. And then they had this balloon thing, the gastric balloon, where basically they insert. Now that is just, you have the incisions like in your stomach or wherever, but they insert some kind of little balloon and then inside your stomach, and then they inflate it so that it takes up a lot of room in your stomach. But the numbers on that was a little sketchy. So, yeah, I like the keto diet. Because I can't do stuff like smoothies and all that kind of stuff. I can't do that. Like, I can't. So keto worked more for me. And what really, really, really worked for me is fasting. Like, fasting is like a lifestyle for me at this point. I just have to do better with what I'm eating. But so since last year, what is this, 2020? So since last year, I lost like 40 something pounds, which I want to lose a whole lot more. But I lost 40 something pounds. I barely worked out, but that was from fasting, from intermittent fasting and doing low carb. And I lost 40 something pounds off of that alone, not even working out. And my metabolism is crap. Okay. I ate an edible the other day and it took like 2.5 hours for it to kick in. And I was like, I got to start working out. So Ronnie said insurance pays for lap band because it cures diabetes too. I was fasting before Thanksgiving and doing well, but after I have no discipline. Like, it's easier for me to do fasting now, but during the holidays, it's very difficult to eat right. Like, I'm spending so much money. I'm out all the time. It's easier to just go get food, or I'm out. I come in. I'm too tired. I don't feel like cooking. So I just gotta do better. But fasting is what I'm going to talk about it more. I'm definitely going to go into depth more when I reach my goal. Until then, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I don't want to talk about stuff that I haven't done or experienced or know. So I kind of wait. I don't mind telling y'all what I'm doing, but I want to wait until I meet my goal. So I'm gonna have to really get on it. But fasting, I've been doing this whole time. And fasting is literally the only thing that keeps me from gaining weight, because I'd be so scared to get on the scale. But then if I do get on it, it's basically the same. So fasting is the only thing that saves me. Danielle made a lasagna and layered cabbage instead of pasta. Oh, I was about to say I did that too, but I think you're saying I did it. Yeah, that's like one of my favorite meals. I haven't eaten that in a long time because I'm also trying to cut out dairy, because dairy, you get over 30 and just issues start happening. So my gastric tract is like, what is it called? I forgot what it's called, but I'm trying to get off dairy. Plus, I think it's gross, but being vegan, I really have wanted to be vegan, but that tried to kill me. I like being vegan for the moral reasons, but I can't. But I am going to start trying to implement more vegan meals, but I have to be particular about the vegan meals that I eat, and not eat like food substitutes and stuff, which a lot of that stuff is. Let's see. But I'm definitely not against like surgery. If I wasn't so scary, I probably would do it, because I definitely considered it at one point. But when they start talking about the intricacies of it, and one hospital have a whole YouTube video of one hospital here, I think it's a UNC hospital, have the whole video of the entire surgery of the gastric sleeve surgery. I was like, I should not be watching this. This is not okay. So every now and then I still think about it. But then I think about the at this point, I think my discipline is good enough to where I could handle it, and I could lose the weight and I could keep it off. But some people are less scared, but I'm nervous. I've never, thank God, knock on wood, I've never had any surgeries or anything like that. I've never broken anything. So I'm not going to volunteer to go to surgery. I'm not. I scared. Yes, I scared myself. But anyway, so yeah, I just feel like overall Black women need to just worry about leveling up. I really wish Black women would stop paying attention to these men and start acting, because I promise you, if if a large enough population of Black women started paying these dudes dust, like genuinely ignored these dudes, like it would change. Personally, I don't even care like about them changing, because most people are going to change when they want to change. But and the thing is, Black women have been, as much as we get annoyed with each other and other habits and stuff like that that we see with other Black women, as much as we get annoyed, Black women are actually doing the work to become feminine, to shed a lot of the brainwashing, the muling, to shed a lot of these bad habits that we've had. We're doing the work. They aren't. Instead of working on their positions as men, they're trying to have psychological warfare with us. So, in my opinion, it's nothing to fight about. It's nothing to argue about. Arguing with a fool makes you a fool. Arguing with a dummy makes you a dummy. So, in my opinion, it's nothing to argue about. It's nothing to talk about. Just keep it pushing. And yes, listen to YouTubers who have Black women's best interests at heart. Nobody who has your best interest at heart is going to talk to you crazy. Nobody. They're not going to talk to you crazy. They're not going to call you out your name. They're not going to attack your looks. Because first of all, if you wanted a private coaching session, then that's where you talk about somebody's looks and things they can improve. You don't publicly embarrass another person, much less another Black person, since this is a community, right? I would never get in public and talk about somebody. Black women. What Black women get on YouTube every night calling Black men ugly and dragging them and talking about them in the same manner? It's no gender war. Just shut it down. Shut your wounds down. What else? What you can't talk to a person that wasn't born. You can't argue with a person that wasn't born. So the best thing we can do right now is to shut it down, level up, make sure you find joy in other places in your life until the right man comes around, and find joy, find peace and happiness outside of men. And that's any race of man. Because if you ask me, they all annoying. They all needy. Because they need women much more than women need them. And that's fine if he's the right one. Because when you get to a place where you're really leveled up, certain things you're just not going to accept, period. Certain things you're just not going to deal with because you value your time. I never let anybody talk to me crazy. And I'm not going to start today. And so I do have a lot of stuff that I want to do, videos and stuff that I want to make going forward in 2021. And along with my weight loss and trying to grow this channel so these messages can get out to more Black women. And I'm going to be talking more in code too. Because a lot of anybody have access to YouTube. But at the same time, it's not but so many people in these spaces. So we can say what we want without fully saying it. But the biggest message is to just pay these dudes dust because they're non-factors. And most of them, frankly, are not prizes. And we also have to remember that a lot of this is our fault. We play a big role in this too. And in my opinion, the biggest role is by birthing men and women for that matter, because a lot of us neglect women, neglect our own daughters. Thankfully, I wasn't raised in that space. But because of the culture of this community, even those of us who are in the best of homes are succumb to a lot of these things, are succumb to choking on dust from somebody who didn't raise their son right. And so Gen Z, they got a lot of information that we didn't have. And a lot of Black women are making these people popular. You're making these people popular by posting this man picture up everywhere, by speaking and arguing. For what? Like, personally, I mean, I know that I think differently than a lot of people. I don't think I think that differently than a lot of people. But like, what do you get out of arguing with people about the way you feel? Is your goal to change the way you feel? Because if it is, then okay. But personally, I don't see the point in arguing with people. I don't see the point in discussing anything. We cannot fix the Black community. We can fix Black women, though, to some degree. Not everyone, but we can fix the collective of Black women. And to me personally, this goes beyond, being dark skinned versus being light skinned versus being biracial versus being brown skinned. Frankly, you may get perks for being biracial or perks for being light skinned. You may get a little less compliments. I can admit, a lot of the things that a lot of Black women say, because I'm not that dark, I've always identified with being dark skinned, but I learned in 2020, in 2019 and 2020 that I want dark skin. So, but I do understand that there is a difference in the treatment. But you don't win a prize just because they don't call you certain names. Because I promise you, they're going to find anything wrong with you, and they'll elevate a white woman over a biracial woman. The same way they'll elevate a light biracial woman over a dark-skinned woman. We ain't winning no prizes with these men anyway. So I don't even know what the discussion, why would we discuss with anything with them? Pointing out, certain behaviors, absolutely. Because nobody should be calling into people's show to be abused and to be talked down to. Nobody that cares about you is going to do that. And I understand there's a good chunk of Black women who didn't have a father or didn't have a good father. My dad never yelled at me. Never. It is absolutely unacceptable for men to say certain things to me, period. Because I'm not used to it. I'm over 30 years old. I've never so much as heard my parents argue to this day. Arguing is unnatural to me. It's not a go-to to problem solve for me. Now, I can argue with the best of them. I can yell, I can fuss too, like anybody else, but do I enjoy it? No. I don't see the benefit, but you will never, ever find me having a discord with Black men unless it's a Black man that I know personally. You will never. Good or bad, unless it has absolutely nothing to do with the Black community, because this ain't up for discussion. As much as Black men drag Black women for sport in public, it's not up for discussion by any Black man. It's a one-sided war that Black women are just understanding that is a war. But like I said, it's barely a war, because we got the weapons to shut it down. We got the big joker card. If you play spades, we got the big joker. And her name is Uterus. And we can shut it down. And that's why some people like say, oh, well, you have the right to defend yourself. You have the right to jump off of a bridge. Are you going to do it? You have just because you have the ability to do something, does that mean you need to do it? You have the ability to hold somebody hostage. Does that mean you need to do it? No. What do you get out of arguing with anyone about the way you feel? Unless you feel like there's something that you need to change, what do you get out of arguing with people? Especially with a group of people who move the goalposts as much as they change their underwear, hopefully. The goalpost is ever moving. That's why on this channel, I don't even like to discuss a lot of these things, not in the form that I've been talking about it tonight, and going forward, it will still be rare that I do this. I might every now and then, if something pop up that I just can't keep my mouth closed about. But at the end of the day, we don't need to we have exerted enough energy into multiple different places that it does not belong everywhere except within ourselves and each other. And it's definitely time that we do that. Leave the Black community behind. Leave the Black community behind. The Black community will always be Black. So these conversations will always to some degree come up. But it doesn't have to get your energy in a negative way. And so that's why I don't believe in talking about Black men all the time. I don't believe in talking about this stuff, but for so long. Sitting complaining about every little, oh, the sky is blue. A Black man called a dark-skinned woman ugly or strong or some kind of animal. Oh, the sky is blue again today. So what? And it's not okay to be so used to people talking to you crazy that it's normal. It's not okay to normalize abuse in any form. It is okay, however, to exit stage left. Let them argue amongst themselves. So when people make videos about me and using my content, oh, okay, you won't ever get a response out of me, ever. I don't care what you say. Your opinion on how I look, your opinion on what I say is null and void to me. I don't talk to anyone about my level up anymore because it has started too many arguments with men and women. I now move in. Absolutely. Frankly, a lot of people don't understand, even other Black women, they don't understand. And people, people are so hell bent on not having other people level up above them as they perceive that they will try to discourage you. Oh, why you want to do that? Oh, why you got to wear makeup? Oh, why you got to do this? Why you dress like that? Why you so dressed up? Da 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 da. I don't dress up. I don't go everywhere dressed up. But I'll put effort into how I look when I go out. I've been called whitewashed too. Oh, you talk like a white girl. Where? Where? Nobody will ever mistake my voice for a white girl voice. Where? Yes, I don't always talk like this. Yes, we code switch. Yes, I talk differently at work, but I'm going to be honest. We don't have to code switch like we used to in 2020. I talk to my white VPs and SVPs and managers and stuff sometimes like a homegirl sometimes. Not about certain topics, but in the influxes in my voice and stuff. Not all the time. So I don't sound like but people will say anything just to try to make sure that you don't get out of their comfort zone. And it's like, that's why I don't say anything either. I don't talk about, I'll mention it up here sometimes. I don't talk about who I date. Because I used to tell my friends my business and stuff like that. I don't do that no more. And I don't want to know theirs. So I keep my level up to myself. I'll start sharing my weight loss and everything that I did after I meet my goal. But as far as my level up journey, besides on my channel, because it serves a purpose, I'm not talking about it. Because people will argue with you about why you're trying to change your own life, about why you want nice things, about why you want to look nice. I don't understand. Kian said, I do not code switch. I'll enunciate my words and use on point grammar, but I do not change my tone of voice and inflections. Yeah. Sometimes I do it off habit, like answering the phone and stuff. I do it with my own personal phone too, because it's a habit. But as far as wearing natural hair and doing all that other kind of stuff, you can wear natural hair in 2020. Stop lying. And I really want Black women to get the right kind of confidence. Listen, I wear wigs. Now, I'm not one of them intricate wig wearers. I'm not too familiar with a lot of weaving and bundles. I don't know a lot about that stuff, but we live in a different era now. And I really want Black women we can be appreciative of it. Yes, there are a lot of places, a lot of things that can be better and that we want to get better as far as race relations and stuff like that and stereotyping and stuff like that. But it is 2020. Nobody is forcing you to wear straight hair. Nobody is forcing you to code switch. There are certain things you can choose to do in situations that will benefit you. If it's going to benefit me to code switch, if it's going to benefit me to wear a certain hairstyle, then that's what I'm going to do. And I'll switch up later. But I love braids. I love my natural hair. I like wearing certain kind of weaves sometimes. Nobody's going to stop me. I do whatever I want to do. And I will never try to police another woman for what they want to do to themselves, as far as their hairstyles and things of that nature. But we don't have, so we need to get out of this victim mindset. We are victims of some things sometimes, but not always and not all the time. And to me, in 2020, You don't need to be still crying about if you can wear your natural hair at work in a corporate environment. Most corporate environments in this climate would be afraid to say something to you about your natural hair. Now, if you go and looking busted, that's different. But I want Black women to love themselves the way you actually are and then change stuff. Because if I didn't love my natural hair and I had an attachment to wigs, an attachment to straight hair, that's a problem to me. I don't have a problem with wearing wigs. I don't have a problem with wearing certain hairstyles. Wear your hair however you want. But please love yourself before you try to alter things. Because then you ain't going to like yourself when you take that wig off. And that's a problem. And that's where low self-esteem comes in. That's where low amounts of confidence come in. And that's where we start moving stupid. And we all move stupid, including me. So I've been up here for an hour and a half. And so going forward, and like I'm gonna do a lot more. I think I've been pretty consistent with uploading videos somewhat. The holidays get a little bit more difficult because I'm like busy literally all the time. But in 2021 and going forward, I'm definitely going to do more things in different ways so that we can understand, and hopefully I can grow this channel so that we Black women can really level up as a collective, because that's what we really need to do. And I'm glad a lot of YouTubers and stuff are coming out and talking about this stuff, and Black women are actually doing the work and people are noticing. That's why people are trying to play warfare games with us, because they're noticing Black women divesting. They're noticing Black women. Congrats, Ronnie. You just walked a mile and a half during. Yes. They're noticing Black women moving different. Because I even notice it on Instagram, on Facebook, the way Black women, there's a lot. Yeah, we have Black women that don't stick up for each other. We have Black women but Black women have been on it, to me, from what I've seen, been on it in a way that we haven't been. There's still a lot of Black women that's defending men, that's male identified, but 2020 is a lot different. Even on random posts on Instagram, I see Black women going in and being on the same page in certain spaces. Applegirl, so we as women are so powerful, but some of us just don't know it. We are all worth goddess. Yes. We are extremely powerful. We have to say so in whether people come on this planet or not. We have to say so. And even outside of that, there's a lot of us who just have to come in touch with our own divinity as Black women. Everybody want to be like us, bruh. Everybody want to be like us in some form. So you can't tell me, and I'm gonna do a separate video on this, a more formal video, but you can't tell me that I'm undesirable and ugly when you're literally trying to morph into me. You're paying tens of thousands of dollars to look like a Black woman. Now, you can say that they're trying to look like biracial women, but biracial women is as close as they can get without it being blackface. So the aesthetic that they're trying to get from biracial women still is the part from Black women. Because if it was a part from whiteness, they would already be that. So as soon as Black women move differently, people will treat us differently. Like, a lot of people, non-Black people, won't intervene into Black affairs because they're afraid of being called racist, or they're going to be afraid, frankly, that Black women going to turn on them, because a lot of us do it. So we just need to find our own divinity and exit stage left on these Negroes. That's it. That's all.